what designers do is tell the story visually. We tell a visual story. We look at the world. Everything grows out of the script, of course, but we look at the world of the play and we try to recreate not necessarily literally what it would look like realistically on stage, but the feel of the place, the emotion of the play seen through the environment, the world of the play. I approach pretty much every play the same way. You read the script, you understand the story of the play, you work with the director to talk about what are we doing with this production, what are we doing with this play, what are we trying to say, what's this play about to us, what's our story of this play going to be, and then you go from there. And then the script itself and your production of that script will sort of lead you down the path. What appealed to me about it was that there's no real specific place in the scenery, in the setting. The lighting designer here has to establish and help the audience to see where we are, what time of day it is not only, but where we are in the world.
The challenge, it is sort of challenging because it's kind of, the set has to be fairly nebulous, fairly open. Location and mood has to be set with the use of like subtle lighting effects. Unfortunately, if you don't have a surface, there's really nothing for light to reflect off of. So I had to figure out some way to create surfaces for light to play off of. The
setting is, like I said, very sort of minimal. It's just a circle on the floor that has ground cocoa bean husks in it, and some panels along the back to project light onto. The scenic designer, our technical director, Christian Poquette, didn't really need for there to be panels back there. He put them there for me. He put them there so we had a place to project light and sky and emotion, if you will, through the use of pattern and color and that sort of thing. Trying to light those panels, I think, is going to be a little bit of a challenge as I get into actually setting levels and recording light cues and all of that. I think getting color and pattern on those panels in such a way that the entire audience can see them, because they're staggered. Some are in a layer in the back, and then there are two that are sort of pulled forward so that we have entrances from between them so the actors can make their way on and off stage. That it creates an interesting challenge for me in that I have to sort of figure out what angles I can use so that I light an entire panel without it casting a shadow on the panel behind it. So that's going to be a sort of an interesting challenge. I'm anxious to see where I've placed the instruments on the light plot on paper actually works, where they're hung in the air. So that we don't know yet, but we're hoping that all works out.
While you travel from this little girl on a swing to her adulthood, and the swing is still present, it's kind of it goes from a joyous, innocent element to kind of a melancholy, lonely element, but it's ever present, and I don't know, it kind of is it pulls everything together in a central locale. It's one piece of the scenery on the stage that actually is a physical interpretation of what's in the script itself. Everything else is left to the mind of the audience. So that's the one thing that ties the whole thing together, and falls into this kind of earthy toned environment that works for the show.
As a designer, you always like the scenes where there's lots of action, where there's things going on, where stuff is happening. So the scene, the riots, the Soweto riots, or the school uprising, I see a lot of action on stage there. The choir is brought in. We've got a chance for some evocative lighting there. My plan is to, my hope at least, is to have the scene start out as looking very sort of realistic and almost turning surreal. So the stage will turn red, the panels will turn red, the choir will be brought up in a red light as they come in. So yeah, it's those kind of scenes that I look for, where I can really sort of go a little bit wild and really make a statement for the audience, so really help to tell the story.